With The Last of Us HBO series finding a winning formula in adapting the source material while making adjustments to fit its new medium of television, how would the Super Mario Bros. Movie adapt its source material to an animated feature? Let's discuss. Hey movie fans, so I just saw the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Now, I have been pretty eagerly anticipating this movie because I thought every single trailer that I've seen up until this point has seemed like it has gotten the spirit and the essence of the beloved characters in the Nintendo world. Yes, I know we had a live action movie at one point or another, but we can acknowledge that happened and then move on very, very quickly in a separate direction. I know some people were hesitant because Illumination's name was attached to this, the same company that did Despicable Me, Benedict Cumberbatch's Grinch, Secret Life of Pets. That's actually why I thought they were the perfect people to do it, because they always have this bright, vivid color palette, the way the characters are drawn. I could very much see that being adapted to Mario. Now we have an animated Mario movie, which animation is absolutely the right way to go. And y'all, as a movie, I get why the critics might not like it. At the same time, they're being overly harsh on this because this is probably the most fun you will have at the box office in a very long time. This movie is for the fans in the most die-hardest of ways possible, and I had so much fun with this. It is a flawed movie, but as a Mario movie, there is nothing wrong with this whatsoever. As a Mario movie, as an homage to the beloved character that almost all of us grew up playing, if you played Mario at all, you're gonna walk away with the biggest, dumbest, goofiest grin on your face because this movie is so much fun. So let's get into some positives, the negatives that I have, and then we'll round it back out with some positives. Let's get the elephant out of the way first. The elephant in the room is Chris Pratt. Everyone's going, well, how's Chris Pratt as Mario? Honestly, after the first 5 or 10 minutes, you kind of just get used to it. It's really not that bad. I said from day one, guys, Chris Pratt's a pretty decent voice actor. I love his Emmett in the Lego movie. I think it's one of his best performances ever. And I was always curious to see, guys, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and let's see it in the context of the movie. And in the context of the movie that they're telling, it makes a lot of sense. Same as Charlie Day's Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy is really, really good as Peach. The only member of the voice cast that I have issues with is Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. He's just Seth Rogen. It's not a spoiler or anything, but they even just throw in the Seth Rogen laugh at there because Seth Rogen laugh. It's whatever. But the standout character voice acting wise is either Keegan-Michael Key as Toad or Jack Black as Bowser. Jack Black's Bowser is up there in the pantheon of great Jack Black performances. I love his Poe and Kung Fu Panda. If you follow this channel for any length of time, you know I love Kung Fu Panda. But throw that up there, his role in Jumanji, his stuff with Tenacious D. There's a little bit of all of it in this, actually. His Bowser is so entertaining, but the entire voice cast just plays off each other so incredibly well. And this is a Mario movie, y'all. Down to the color scheme. I've complained forever now that the modern trend of movie making, of making everything kind of muted and desaturated, and the goal of being quote unquote realistic and feeling like you're lived in it. I hate that trend. This is just y'all like colors? We're gonna ramp the saturation up to 145%. This thing is uber colorful, uber bright. It feels like you were in Mushroom Kingdom. But the various kingdoms besides the Mushroom Kingdom also have their own unique personality, and the colors pop visually. The visuals are outstanding. The animators went above and beyond to just make you feel immersed in the world of Mario, not just from the animation, but the fantastic score. There are so many musical cues in this that will touch you in the nostalgia because it's just played off so perfectly. It still functions incredibly well as a film score while not beating you over the head with references, but it's definitely a Mario score. And so many times I would lean over to Heaven, we just had the biggest, dumbest grin on our faces going, oh, we're gonna need this soundtrack because this takes us back. But I don't think this movie is just all member berries of isn't nostalgia great? It does lean on that a little bit of, let's get into some negatives here. The story is a little shallow, but in its defense, most of the Mario games have a pretty shallow story. It's get the princess from the castle, which they actually make a joke about that at one point in this. It's get the princess from the castle, defeat Bowser, etc., etc. And this movie does have a little of a pacing problem. It never really takes its foot off the gas. It's going very, very fast, which, foot on the pedal. Reference. If you've seen, you know. This movie needed a scene or two of just the characters breathing and taking a moment. They have some of those, but it's a kids movie. You got to keep the pace going. You got to keep the kids entertained. And the grown, almost 30-year-old kids also happily in the audience that will see this more times than the actual kids. You got to keep them entertained. You can't have character moments. There are some, but I think this movie could have been about 10 to 20 minutes longer and just given it some more time to breathe. Yeah, it just flies by in the best sense and at times not in the best sense. I also think that this movie also has the kind of annoying trend of current Hollywood movies of let's just slap a pop song in there whether it fits or not. I loved the score of this movie. The soundtrack is really hit or miss of like, oh, I love this song. Do I love it in a Mario movie or do I love it in the current scene? Maybe not necessarily. It doesn't always come together, but that kind of is par for the course with current Illumination movies. Like Despicable Me definitely has that problem, or the Minions especially have that problem. But it's still good. I love the music in this, just maybe not always the soundtrack part of it. The other negative I have is because the story is just rushing through and always getting from action scene to action scene, some story arcs are kind of set up and they don't really have as big as an emotional payoff as they probably could have if we devoted more time to it. Some things kind of get the short end of the stick, but at the end of the day, the story is still effective. I don't want to pass it off as, it's just fine because it's a kid's movie. It's fine because it's fun. This is one of those, you're allowed to have fun in movies. Mario as a character and as a genre of video games has never overthought things. They're always accessible to everyone. It's why everyone grew up playing them, because anyone could just jump in and play them. Mario is simplistic. That is fine. That's why I think the story for this works, because you don't need an overly complicated storyline here. It's Mario, and I'm not trying to excuse the movie for not going deeper into story, but at the same time, this is so perfectly a Mario movie. It is fine as a movie, but it's perfect as a Mario movie. Now, let's get into some more positives to round this out, because guys, I just thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I said this movie just jumps from action scene to action scene, but when the action scenes are as fun as they are and as varied as they are, I definitely am not complaining about that. I just wish we got some more character moments. The action scenes in this feel like you are playing a Mario game in terms of just like the variety. It's not just punch 'em up scenes. You get a lot of different things in this movie that keep it fresh, keep it fun, keep it engaging with some quirky jokes here and there. I just really like the variety of worlds and sets that we visit, and the action scenes are well diversified in terms, if that makes sense, of they're not the same repeating level. We're not doing like a level 1A over and over again. You get variety here, and that's a lot of fun. This movie was made for the Easter eggs, though. You're going for the Easter eggs. You're going for Mario and Luigi and the big bombastic fun. Bomb-astic, if you will. I'll see myself out. But this has so many Easter eggs. I feel like I caught a lot of them, but I'm gonna need repeat viewings because there is so many things in the background that make me happy. And without giving too much away, stay for both end credits. There's a mid credits and an end credits. Y'all, the end credits for this movie is the loudest I have screamed in a theater in a very long time, and there's no one in my theater that yelled louder, but I take great pride in that. And I know this movie is already making a bunch of money, but if you want the sequel to make even more money, the thing that you teased at the end of this movie, just name the next one that, and you will have all of my money, all of Heather's money, all the money in the world. I don't care. I'm so excited for the thing that they teased at the end of this to an unhealthy degree, and it makes me so happy. This movie just makes me happy. It makes people that played Mario growing up happy. It takes you back. It is a very nostalgic movie, but I don't feel like it ever weaponizes your nostalgia. It is very similar to the Lego movie. I think that's still a better made movie, but this feels like, oh wow, this really reminds me of the chaotic fun that I had as a child. Is it perfect? No. Is it bonkers? Yes. Yes. But Mario always kind of has been. Mario's always been bright, vivid, wacky, exciting, action-packed, but at the end of the day, pretty simple. And that's what this movie is. I cannot wait for this to be on home video because this is a gorgeous movie to watch over and over again. The surprisingly good camera work, but the animation is fantastic. The colors just pop off the screen. There's some great humor in this. It feels like, guys, was this movie so hard? Why didn't we just do Mario like this to begin with? It just felt right. I know it's simple, but simple is okay. What would you guys think? Did you see the Super Mario Brothers movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite Super Mario game? Let me know that down in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel or subscribe to us wherever you get your podcast. Just search Uncharted Media. And as always, stay sharp, movie guys and gals.